What's going on YouTube and all you drunken misters out there? Gemini Glass here, aka I am motherfucking drunk, y'all. And today we're doing another whiskey review and test. I'm going to continue to be trying to pump out at least one of these a month. And today we're looking at Woodinville Straight Bourbon Whiskey, pot distilled, 90 proof, 45% alcohol. Let's see what it says here. Bigger dreams, smaller batches. That's what we're looking at today, ladies and gentlemen. Now, right off the bat, nice little square bottle. I like these little fancy square bottle here. This was run me, I believe it was $45. It's made in Washington. Woodinville Whiskey Company, established in 2010. So this isn't like some of the other ones we've had on here that have been around for a little bit, or like Jim Beam or anything like that. This one is a 2010. It does have some things on the back here to read. Handmade in Washington State. This truly small batch bourbon starts with traditionally grown corn, rye, and malted barley. All of our staple grains are cultivated exclusively for us on the Omlin family farm in Quincy, Washington. The grains are mashed, distilled, and barreled in our Woodinville distillery, then trucked back over the Cascade Mountains to our private barrel house, where Central Washington's extreme temperature cycles promote the extraction of natural flavors from the oak. Prior to being coopered, the barrel wood is seasoned in an air, rain, wind, sun, and snow for 18 months, softening the wood's harsh tannins. The barrels are then slowly toasted and heavily charred to further enrich the wood's desirable flavors. This meticulous process yields a truly handcrafted spirit with aromas of creme brulee, or creme brulee, I think that's how you pronounce that, spice cabinet, as well as other rich caramel, dark chocolates, and vanilla bean on the palate with a sweet, lingering finish. Distilled, bottled, and aged in Woodinville Whiskey Company, Woodinville, Washington. Now, I made sure to look at the proof on this one. Last time I didn't know the proof. It was 115 proof. A little strong there. It was good, though. A little strong. Stronger than I was expecting. And as per usual, we're going to go in first. We're going to go do the Coca-Cola whiskey and Coke test. Hang on. Turn this on. Oh, that's not even plugged in. Yeah, we're going to go in and do the whiskey and Coke test first. Got me a classic Coca-Cola here. We put some ice in the can. And this time I am going with this one, so we get a nice fair judgment. And we're going to stick with these glasses, not the other one I used last time. So yeah, let me grab the ice and we'll get this going. Small handful in there. There we go. And I lied, we're not starting with that. That's going to be our second one. Starting with the straight test as always. Alright. So far, packaging, like I said, I enjoy the square bottle, but I am not enjoying this much plastic on the lid. Some whiskeys, or some people, the way they bottle them, they end up leaving a little gap where you can actually get some grip onto the plastic and rip it. This one does not have that. This is fully sealed with plastic all the way around. And the bad part is, it's like they put the hole there for you to get a grip on, and yet they put plastic over that for some reason. So I cannot get a grip in there. And, well, this is automatically cutting its points down a little bit, because if I can't get to my fucking whiskey when I want to get to it, brand new bottle or not, that's a problem right there rating-wise. I don't think I've actually had this much trouble in a while opening a bottle. There we go. Plastic off. And unlike the last ones, this is cork based, or cork lid, not based, cork lid. Sorry, I just seen some more writing there I was looking at. Ooh. Nice going in. Little poppy coming out. Right off the bat, you can smell this. Like, I mean, this has actually got a very strong smell to it, unlike some of the others. Got that little chill, body chill right there, taking that with. Nice. Good little bit of burn going down. Get that off my mustache there. Good little burn going down. You can definitely get a little bit of the caramel note. I'm not getting that sweet lingering taste that's talking about. Definitely get a little bit of the caramel. Not too much of it though. Not getting any dark chocolate. Little bean, you get a little bit of that for sure. Straight, I'm gonna give it. Straight, I'm gonna give it a solid. I'm gonna give it a solid 6 out of 10. Just a pretty average straight if you're drinking it straight. But let's go ahead and get into the whiskey and Coke. And like I said in the past, the reason I do the whiskey and Coke is just because it's just such a common drink at a bar that you'd order. We do 1 shot of whiskey, and then you fill the rest with Coke. And you're not going to use the entire can now. When you do a whiskey and Coke, you don't want a full 12-ounce pour of Coke. You want a nice, I don't know, I'd say it's probably like a, right there. It's probably about actually a 7-ounce pour, 6-ounce pour, somewhere around that. Then you get a nice whiskey and Coke. Small glass. You don't want to use a big one. I know. Still nice going in the cork there. Cork, we're going to give a cork a 7 out of 10. A little bit pulley coming out, but going in real nice and smooth. Usually that's why you have a problem with some corks going back in. But yeah, you don't want to do a full 12-ounce can. You lose a lot of the flavor of the whiskey, and the Coke just overbears it. And that's not the point of ordering a Coke whiskey. Point of ordering a Coke whiskey is to get the flavor of the whiskey with the Coke. You know, you're mixing it. You're not trying to overbear one of the flavors. Straight away, you can smell the whiskey straight through the Coke, which is good. My nose is actually working today, luckily, which is surprising. I'm a little stomped up, but the nose is actually working today. Yeah, you just can smell. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be able to pinpoint what type of whiskey this is. I mean, you can just smell whiskey straight through the Coke. The whiskey does cut through the Coke quite well on that, but I'm not a fan of the flavor of it. Like, can I sit and drink this? Yes, I can. Don't get me wrong, I can drink this easily. But I'm just not as much of a fan of the flavor of this one as I have been in other. The Four Roses in the Coke is so far the best I've had in Coke. That Four Roses single barrel or single batch or whatever. Yeah, the Four Roses single barrel. That thing was amazing in the Coke. It had a nice flowery flavor to it. That was great. As far as this one's going, I am getting a lot more caramel flavor. I mean, you're going to get that because you have it in Coke, but I'm definitely getting a lot more of the caramel flavor of the whiskey out of the Coke than I was straight. Which is nice, and that's a good thing about whiskey. There's so many different ways to drink whiskey and bourbon. Don't let anybody ever tell you there's a wrong way, because you can water it down. You can do it big ice cubes. You can just drink it straight. You can make it in drinks. I mean, whiskey and Coke, whiskey sours, like we do on here. There are so many different ways to drink whiskey. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're doing it wrong. The more I drink it, the more I'm liking it. But if I seen this on the shelf in a bar and was like, hey, let me get a whiskey and Coke with that whiskey right there, I would drink it. Like, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. I'm right there. All right, licking that out of my mustache. Right there, I actually did get a hint of that dark chocolate taste that it was talking about. Just a hint. Quick, just little. I did get some dark chocolate there. But I don't think I'd be like, give me another one of those. That was great. I know I'd probably pick a different whiskey, go back with something I normally get or something, you know? I'm sorry, I couldn't find the other glass, so I had to finish it off so I can get to the whiskey sour. starting the day off right. It is currently 12:28. Now, as we know, the next test is the whiskey sour test. So I got my shakers here. Load them up with some ice, sweet and sour mix, and the whiskey. Let's get this going. Out first, as I said always, I prefer the finest call sweet and sour mix. Handful of ice, and then just a pinch more. Move this a little bit closer. I hope the sound quality is good today, guys. Like I said, I've been tweaking with it a lot lately to try to get it just right. Next, go in 1.5 shots of your whiskey or bourbon, or whiskey bourbon, you know, whatever you want to call it. 1.5 shots of that. Love that sound of that cork, actually, that little squeakiness of it. And then we do 3.5 shots of sweet and sour. Three and half. And then, of course, oh, that is not still there. There we go. Give it a nice, good little shake. The last one went great. That one took a few more hits than normal. Ooh. Ooh. The smell of that whiskey cut through heavy on this. If someone just put this to my nose and told me to smell it, I would think it's just straight whiskey. It cut through heavy on this. Get a nice little pour shot in this one. Did I do it? Oh, just a little short. 1 or 2 more cubes of ice, that would have been perfect. Now, like I said, the whiskey cuts through heavy on that right there. Whew. Smells like it's going to be a strong drink. Maybe I did the right amount of pours. Shorted my ice, I guess, just a little too much, and get enough dilution into it. But we're already at 12 minutes, so I need to hurry this along. Let's go ahead and get a taste of this. I don't know if I said it earlier on the Coke. I gave it a 6 out of 10, by the way, just average. Man, see that one right there is perplexing me, because man, the whiskey is really cutting through on that, and I generally like that a lot. And generally, like I said, I generally like a whiskey that cuts through the sour very well, like Jim Beam Devil's Cut does. I need to do that video on here already because that's one of my favorites. But yeah, this one cuts through heavy. I'm just not a fan of this whiskey. I'm just not a fan of this one. Yeah. Just not a fan of this whiskey. I'm honestly going to give that, like, it's very drinkable. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be mad if someone gave me that in a bar. You know, if I ordered that and that's what I got. I mean, it's made correctly and everything. And just the whiskey itself, just not a fan of the flavor in it. I'm going to give this whiskey sour just a 6 out of 10. And that's the lowest I've rated a whiskey sour so far that I've made here on the channel. Yeah. It's just an average whiskey. It's not anything special. I probably could have got a cheaper bottle for what I'm getting here. It's just nothing great. Man, this whiskey is just average. I mean, this whiskey sour is average. The Coke was average. The whiskey itself was average. The cork was average. hang on, because this one is, the more I drink it, the more I like it. I don't know if it's because I'm just drinking it so early in the morning. Maybe my taste buds ain't caught up for this already. No. Yeah, no. Just an average whiskey. I was about to maybe bump up to a 7, but it's just average. It really is. So, sorry, Woodinville. I know y'all just established in 2010, but y'all need to change something, because this is not it. It's just an average whiskey. I mean, for what I'm paying, I was expecting a little bit better. I think next month's video, I'm going to go a little bit higher quality and shoot for $100 whiskey or so, and just compare that. But as far as this one goes, and it's amazing how much $20 makes a difference. This is 40. The single barrel 4 roses was 60, and it made such a huge difference, because this is just not it. Really is not it. I mean, I'm gonna drink it. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna waste the bottle. I'm gonna end up drinking that. It's probably my drink of the night is gonna be this, but just average. It's gonna be an average whiskey. 6 out of 10. That's my rating for this whiskey. Nothing special about it. If you're a whiskey fan yourself and you have a whiskey out there you want me to try, leave it down in the comment section and let me know, and I will put it here through my test and see if you like it. Obviously, honestly, too, I just looked at my background. Had a lot of mess in the background. Could have cleaned up a little bit. Got that Dos Equis mini keg over there in the fridge. It was a little too high. It froze, so I'm letting that defrost. Just have it sit between my boots so the spout stays sticking up and doesn't leak everywhere. But, yeah. Woodinville straight bourbon whiskey, pot distilled, 90 proof. You're just an average whiskey, nothing special. Don't recommend you go out and buy your money on this. You can probably get something better for cheaper, or paying just a few extra dollars. As always, stay motherfucking drunk, y'all.